right, folks, grab a seat and pour your drink neat as Whiskers and Whiskeys presents Tales of the Trophies, the SEC's greatest rivalry. It's Mike here with my good friend Owen. How's it going, buddy?
Owen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you're not changing your name to Owen?
No, not quite.
Owen 9?
Yeah.
You're not doing a thing. This isn't a
Listen. I want to say I am competitively trying to be successful. And the fact that I am over, I feel like is a feat within itself. Like I'm
trying
not
real good. Yeah,
I'm not just like passively like, oh, I'll pick something on a Friday night. Like I'm legitimately watching a lot of college football, and two, I'm not like doing wonky research here, but you know, I'm at least like listening to some voices and trying to make it.
So some voices, huh?
Yeah. I will say
voices.
The last couple of weeks, it's so frustrating because I've had 5 games that I've whittled down to 3. And the last couple of weeks, the ones that I've left out, like this week, I liked Syracuse, and I had texted you about NC State. And then of course the 2 that I left out were successful. Although Syracuse, I mean, obviously they scored in the last second, but
yeah, it's the Big Cat defense that going 0-7 is just as impressive as going 9-0, or going 0-9 is just as good as going 9-0. So yeah, I mean, props to you. It is hard. It's difficult to do that bad.
Yeah,
I will say, if it makes you feel better, on the whole, this is one of those weeks where bet the board, and it's like the exact same amount of money is in my account at the beginning, like on Friday morning is Sunday morning, exact same amount of money. It's just the way she goes.
I've done much better with my NFL stuff than I have college, and
I've not bet NFL at all.
Oh, I've done actually pretty well with dogs. I'm good at
sharing
NFL
is caring,
dogs.
Pal. Well, speaking of dogs, I don't know. Were the lines a dog this week?
No, this is the first time in 24 games that we were favorites.
Nice.
And missing all three interior linemen, and already we're down to our 3rd string guards, and then we had to bring a practice squad tackle to play guard. I will say our backup center played last year because center was hurt last year, and he's actually probably should be a starter somewhere, and probably will be a starter next year somewhere else. But all things considered, that favorite line could have changed once the inactives were announced. Honestly, it could have probably flipped the other side. I'm not sure if it did, but needless to say, they put a whooping. They were really never in doubt.
They sure did.
And of course, I didn't get to watch it. I was at a Steelers game, so I watched 0 seconds of it.
Even if you were home, you might not be able to watch it because DirecTV Sunday Ticket was just a nightmare for everyone.
Was it?
It was down for like half of the game.
Great.
At least for all of the games too, because I tried to watch something else and there was just nothing doing. So
nothing.
Yeah.
Not great. I did resolve my DirecTV issue, so I should be good to go.
Nice.
Thanks to my little bro here. I am not necessarily eligible for Sunday Ticket, but he is, and so
I don't
switcheroo.
know if you can do that.
I did.
You can't skip lunch.
All right. So where are we at? So I will say we have really dropped the ball here the last 2 weeks on what we're drinking. And I am going to make we have some really cool, clever ideas and fun things, new things we're going to do in a few weeks. Halloween, circle your calendars for Halloween weekend, because we got something coming for you guys there.
This is a surprise for me too. Fantastic.
It shouldn't be. I think we've talked about this.
Is it the thing that we're gonna do?
It's the thing that we're gonna do that resembles the game we're gonna talk about that week.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yes, right. That is gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good thing. Yes.
That will be fun. And and we're gonna try some different ideas out. I kind of talked with you offline just a second ago. Even if it doesn't work out this weekend, I think that's something that could be fun in the future as well. So I will say right now I'm drinking the Macallan 12 again. Delicious. Still got it. And
I'm drinking. Go ahead. Do you want to say a little bit more about the Macallan 12? Or you good?
Well, I was just gonna say, every time I look at this, I almost feel a little guilty for how I got this Macallan. I really put that stop in it. So I thought I'd just kind of spot you 9.
Yeah, no, that's fair. We're just gonna go back. You're spotting me six wins.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Because I mean there is folks, there is plenty of time to still join us on the bets. I mean, you can still beat EJ.
You can still beat me.
You and EJ are starting. Like, for example, this weekend we had 2 new bettors join us. We had Nate, recurring guest Nate, join us, and he did better than you. He got 1 right. Or no, he got 2. I think he got.
No, go back. He took Auburn and he took Spartans. So I already know that was. Oh no, that was Chris. No. Never mind that. That was Chris.
Yeah. No. Now Chris started in homage to you. Went over, taking Auburn, Sparty, and the U. In fact, all of our guests this week, Doyle, Nate, and Chris, all took the U, and all took an L because they took the U.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like terrible, right? 8. That's what it finished with. It was an 8-point game and the 6.5. So it's not like it was like completely off.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
I get it, but you're talking like it was like when people took Oregon to cover with Georgia. It wasn't quite that. It wasn't quite that.
Fair. Or like, I mean, I took New Mexico State. I didn't think Michigan had it in them, but they sure did.
That was Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, right? Yeah. Troy was a good one, man. That was a fun episode of Game Day. Pat McAfee's fantastic, and Troy, man, they almost had it. Talk about like just an insane ending. Did you catch the end of the App State game?
Not live, but I saw the video, and it just reminded me of that's how Michigan State beat Notre Dame. It's probably been like a decade now, close to it. Similar thing, Hail Mary, ball doesn't get batted down, it kind of gets batted out, and the receiver's just there to catch it and clean up. That's not part of that, that scrum. I mean, that's
we are sitting.
Yeah, give us the updated standings right now.
So I am 6-3. We talked about your record. Joe is 3-3. He did no picks this weekend.
So Doyle, that drops him though, right? 3-6. Then you got it.
No picks. I guess. I mean, I didn't even count it because, like, for the other people, it's all about wins. It's all about wins, right? So he's not whoever has the most wins, So, I have 6.
Okay.
Doyle has 3. He's 3-6.
Okay.
Nate has 1. He's 1-2. And then Chris with the offer. So, Nate cashed Georgia minus 24.5.
I will say, just because I know he wanted to come on later. Hopefully it works out for the Egg Bowl, because I believe he has attended one.
That'd be great.
It is Nathan.
Nathan.
It is
okay.
Nathan.
Fair enough. Apologies to recurring guest Nathan.
Okay. So pretty much, if you guys are listening and you haven't joined in on the fun, please do. And also, at this point, if you guys give a pick, I'm probably not even gonna give a pick for me at this point. Like,
DJ, just
throw a dog a bone. I won't even question it. If you give me a max school, just give me a winner here, guys.
Some fun belt action.
Help me. I'm poor. Just please help me, because these last 3 weeks have been rough. I know I said I was going to change my approach last week, and I did not, and that's my fault. So
keep it going, man. Keep it going.
This week I'm going to change my approach, and I just need those 3. Just give me some 3 this week, and I'll feel this momentum.
Yeah. Let's get you a win. Let's get something on the board here, pal.
Yeah.
Not too many. Let's get you something.
This is becoming ridiculous.
I can't wait to see how long it goes, to be honest. I mean, it's a streak at this point.
No, I got to get that.
Like the Oakland A's.
Got to get that monkey off my back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So why don't we get into our rivalry this week? Today we're going to talk about the Southwest Classic, and that game is played between the Texas A&M Aggies and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Woo, pig sooie. So let me just start off with, this is the first game of the season that will be played this weekend. So we can not only have a preview at the end, but you guys can look for this game and look for this trophy and tell us what you think. If sometimes the broadcast cuts too short to show it, but
sometimes
hopefully they won't this time.
ESPN has the highlights sometimes they do a good job. Even if the broadcast cuts, they'll show the trophy on ESPN. So
we can only hope, because this guy is, I mean, we'll get into this trophy, but this guy's a trophy that we might want to see.
All right.
So why don't I start off with a fun fact here? So the name of the rivalry and trophy was derived from the two schools' decades-long membership to the Southwest Conference. So in addition to those two schools, A&M and Arkansas, who were the other 6 members of the Southwest Conference, Mike?
Gosh, I have no idea. The Southwest, they're not even all that. Well, I guess A&M is, but like Arkansas. When was this conference around?
I will say, I should probably know this one. See here, 91 is when Arkansas left.
Okay.
The conference, so it lasted for a while, and all these schools are schools you'll know. It's not like the one that had the Southern University or whatever. These are all 6 you'll know.
University of the South, right?
Yes.
Let's see. Texas A&M, Arkansas, Missouri.
No.
Okay. Mississippi State.
Colder.
Nebraska.
Colder
than Nebraska? Is this hot cold, like I'm getting close to the states, or like the states are in colder areas?
No. You are going in the wrong direction.
Oh, I'm going in the wrong direction. Okay. LSU.
Warmer, but no.
Okay. I don't know.
I mean, you're going to the Midwest and you're going to the Southeast, even though the conference is called the Southwest.
Gosh. Not Florida.
Someone has a case of the Mondays.
Yeah, I really do. Auburn.
Nope, colder.
Probably not. Gosh, I don't. Who else down there?
Do you want a huge hint?
Sure.
All 6 of these schools are in the same state.
Oh, so they're probably all Texas schools. So, all right. So let's say Texas.
Yes.
So, all right. So Texas A&M, Arkansas, Texas Tech.
Yes.
So I'm at 4 total. With 2 of them.
4 more.
And how many? There's 4 more. TCU.
Yes.
Houston.
No.
Okay. SMU.
Yes.
So that's 6. I got
2
more.
Yep.
Texas.
One is a Power 5 school and one is not.
Baylor.
Yep.
7, and one's not a Power 5 school.
Yes, but it's definitely one you've heard of. In the same vein as kind of an SMU.
TCU, SMU, Houston. What the fuck's in Texas?
Actually, this one might not be, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, okay. So that's
this one. I gotta double check.
Oh gosh, hold on. I gotta think. What is this?
Yes, it is.
What is a school that's in Texas that I've heard of that I didn't already say?
Private school. I don't know that really matters. I don't really know.
Well, no, I mean, I figured because the name, because not like UTEP or UTSA.
The name is also a grain.
A grain?
Mm-hmm.
Rice.
In Houston, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Woof, man.
Thanks for bailing me out on that one.
Listen, that was rough. Southwest Conference, and then you're going Nebraska.
I worked a long day, and I got to work more after this. So just
hey, that's why I said it was a case of the Mondays. I wasn't going to blame you. Sometimes you're.
You want to know what's crazy? You want to know what's crazy?
You know?
I have meetings straight from 9 to 4:30 tomorrow.
That sounds really fun.
I want it's and I have a lot to do. It's like, anyways. Enough about me. Okay.
All right. So what are your guesses?
I love that conference. That's
I know, right?
Conference. Bring it back. That's awesome.
That was basically like, that seems like a realignment conference you would have picked.
How did Arkansas even get in there?
Great question. I don't know. They were just all like, oh, it's all Texas. And then they were like, well, we kind of ran out of Texas schools.
Texarkana, I guess that,
right, yeah.
Like literally that's what it is. It's like Texarkana, you're close enough. Come on.
Right. Come on. We hate Oklahoma, so come on.
Yeah.
All right. So what are your guesses as to what this trophy looks like?
Southwest Classic. It feels like a big cup, like a big like goblet cup type of thing, like a traditional trophy with like two handles on the side.
Yes.
It looks like a big old cup.
Okay. It's a good guess. We'll just have to wait a little bit to see if you're right.
Yeah, do bear with my guess with the schools in the Southwest Conference.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to give you a chance to redeem yourself here. Thank God. We're going to do a new segment. So I had mentioned that, if it's an in-state rival, we'll probably do that state's fun facts, like some trivia there. And if they're border states, we'll kind of do an either or. However, we already have done Arkansas, so I thought we'd do a pivot a little bit because it was a struggle to get a few things on Arkansas to do that last segment. So what we're going to do is we're going to do famous alumni trivia. So I'm going to give you two people.
I like this.
And you're going to tell me whether they went to Arkansas, whether they went to A&M, or they could have both went to Arkansas, or they both could have went to A&M.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
All right. So the first two, and they're kind of coupled by some similarities. So the first one's Jerry Jones and President George H.W. Bush.
Jerry Jones went to Arkansas, and George H.W. Bush went to A&M.
Correct.
What was that? Were you just like double checking your own facts?
Yes. In my head I was. But that is correct.
Nice.
Which is kind of surprising because, not surprising, but when you think of, I thought I was going to trick you there, because when you think of Jerry Jones, you think of Texas, because obviously, he owns the Dallas Cowboys, but he did not go to Texas.
Arkansas.
He, in fact, went to Arkansas. All right, the next two. Nick Pizzolatto, which, again, doesn't sound super familiar.
This guy.
He is the creator and director of True Detective.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And Rip Torn, the actor. Rest in peace, Rip Torn. And if you're not as familiar with him, one of the most famous, probably for our age, is Dodgeball. He was the coach.
Patches O'Houlihan.
He was Patches O'Houlihan. Rip Torn, very famous comedic.
Sorry, your dodgeball coach just got crushed by 2 tons of irony. Sympathy cards. Okay.
So where did they go to school?
Nick, did he do season 1 of True Detective and that's it, or did he do all of it?
I think he at least did 2. I'm not sure if he did the 3rd.
I'm gonna say Nick Rip Torn. I'm gonna say they both went to A&M.
Both went to A&M?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Nick went to Arkansas.
Rip went to A&M.
And Rip went to A&M.
Rip seems like an A&M guy. Seems like something like that cult definitely spit him out. So
that cult.
Well, have you seen the videos of they're coming out of Midnight Yell?
No.
Midnight Yell's just getting memed to hell and back the past couple of weeks here. So
obviously we heard their A&M what's it called? Their band or what was it, their marching band that did the song against Appalachian State, calling them a bunch of hillbillies and stuff before the game. Obviously,
that was the Midnight Yell guys.
Okay, that was the Midnight Yell. Okay,
those are like the little cheerleaders that run the Midnight Yell, and they just come up with the lamest. Okay. You should see the one from Miami. It's evil. It's so cringeworthy. It's just, yeah, it's terrible.
All right, last one. The great Pat Summerall, and which is a NFL broadcaster, was NFL great broadcaster, and the actress Eva Longoria. Where did they go to school?
Did Summerall go to A&M and Eva Longoria went to Arkansas?
That is incorrect. You had them flip-flopped.
Flip-flopped. Okay.
Pat Summerall went to Arkansas. Eva Longoria went to A&M.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So not too bad there. What, you probably got three of three? That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
It's better than your Southwest Conference when you were naming schools in like
true.
the Southeast. So
that is true.
All right. So why don't we get into a little bit of the history of the rivalry? So the first matchup between these two schools was in 1903, and the Aggies won 6-0. And then Arkansas and A&M would play each other 3 times from 1903 to 1912, all as non-conference matchups. But starting in 1934, the two schools would play on an annual basis because of their joining of the Southwest Conference. And they would play each other annually from 1934 all the way to 1991. And the overall series lead, so Arkansas leads the series 42 wins to 33 losses and 3 ties.
Okay.
So, yeah, pretty evenly matched there.
Yeah.
And then in 1991, Arkansas left the Southwest Conference for the SEC, which would put this game on pause for almost 20 years. And then the series would be renewed in 2009, but more on that in a second.
Okay.
So now you can scroll. What do you think about this trophy?
Okay. That seems about right for what I was thinking. I mean, it's not a big cup, but like that seems like it fits the Southwest Classic. Interesting that these two are the teams that get the trophy too. Like if it's the whole Southwest Conference. But anyways, all right. So it definitely looks like a conference championship trophy.
Yeah.
There's it's a big silver base, which has, I guess, game scores and stuff like that on it. Then there's like a dome, like a little silver dome on top of the base. And then there's a V, like the silver part V's out. And then there's glass, like to the left and right and in the middle of the V. And the glass on the left side has Arkansas with their logo like laser etched into it. A&M's on the other side, and then Southwest Classic laser etched in the center, and then a big old silver football at the top.
Yeah, very reminiscent to the national champ. No, what's the trophy that comes up? Is it I guess the Super Bowl doesn't do that either. What trophy am I thinking about where it just has a football? Like I feel like I've seen one. Yeah,
the
where
Lombardi's like, just a football.
Yeah, but it still has the base, right? That's attached to it. I could have sworn
Lombardi.
But can you take the football off?
Lombardi has a silver base. No, you can't take the ball off.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking of like some sort of trophy that you can remove the ball from it. Man, what am I thinking of? Maybe I'm just thinking
crystal
of
ball.
Maybe
the old BCS crystal ball.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Can you remove this ball?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No. I don't think so.
But it looks like almost a full-size football, right? Maybe like
I would say that's definitely a full. I would say that's definitely a full-size football or a youth football. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like little by any means.
No, it's sizable. I mean, it's like there's 2 guys carrying it. I mean, it like the football is about as big as the one dude's head. So yeah, it's a sizable. It looks heavy.
Yeah, it looks like a solid 2-person. I mean, a 1-person can hold it, but it's probably most comfortable in 2 people's hands.
Yeah,
right?
a lineman can hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had mentioned that this game was on pause. So they played from 34 to 91 until Arkansas left, and then they were on pause until 2009. So talk a little bit about the renewal of the game. So on March 10th, 2008, officials from both schools announced that the series would recommence under the name the Southwest Classic. It wasn't explicitly stated, but I believe that this is the inaugural game with the trophy.
Okay. That makes sense, because I was wondering, like, well, if they played, why were just they the Southwest Classic as opposed to every team that plays in the Southwest Conference?
Yes. And so I think a part of this is, and you kind of described it without probably realizing what it was, is the annual location for this game was announced that it was going to be Cowboy Stadium. So that dome is supposed to look like Cowboy
Stadium. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I think, well, it's now that I look at it, it's hard to see because there's a Getty Image logo on it. Mm-hmm. But I think that dome actually is supposed to be shaped just like Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah, I think it does look like it, but you're right, because it has the Getty Images. It's hard to see the definition of the actual sides of the stadium.
The photo where they're holding it up, the two dudes are holding it up. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, so the attendance for the game is typically around 80,000, or that's what they were expecting. And depending on ticket demand, it can be increased to about 100,000. So typically the tickets are said to be split 50-50. And the initial agreement between the two schools allowed for the game to be played for at least 10 years, followed by 5 consecutive 4-year rollover options. So allowing this game to potentially be played for about 30 consecutive years.
Okay.
And in that initial game, the Hogs would give the Aggies a 47-19 beatdown.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So that was back in 2009. So then in 2011, well, technically 2012, but in 2011, we kind of had the rumors of these guys being conference foes once again. So in 2011, 6 days after announcing that they would be leaving the then Big 12, the number 12 A&M lost to the number 18 Arkansas team 42-38. And that game would later be labeled as the Welcome to the SEC game.
Nice.
Yes. So during the game, there was a run into the end zone by Broderick Green for the final score of the game for Arkansas, and Hogs fans were seen on the screen holding a sign saying "Welcome to the SEC." So that kind of is how that got dubbed. So
gotcha.
So I think before
2012,
that was 2012 was when the Aggies would join the SEC.
Oh.
So that game was 2011.
Johnny showed up the following year, 2013.
Is that when it was? I don't actually remember.
Well, if it was, hold on. If it was 2011, Johnny wasn't there yet. Johnny's first season was 2012.
Okay, then maybe that was their inaugural season in the SEC. So
okay.
So that kind of, I think them becoming conference foes probably changed that initial agreement back in 2009. So I think their idea was obviously to do it 10 years initially, and then you have the options moving forward.
Yeah.
Obviously that changes once the Aggies join the SEC. So once again, like I had mentioned, the rivalry became a conference matchup when A&M joined the SEC on July 1st of 2012, and they became a member of the West Division of the conference along with Arkansas. However, the A&M's first 2 seasons in the SEC series was played as a home and home at the campuses of the schools. So they kind of changed it up and didn't do it in Dallas. The first year was in College Station, and the second year was in Fayetteville. But after those first 2 games in 2012 and 2013, the series resumed play at the neutral site for the 2014 season, and it says here that is going to be that case at least until 2024.
Okay.
But there have been multiple athletic directors at A&M that have expressed desire to move away from playing in Dallas. On July 20th, 2020, it was reported that the game would be played at Kyle Field due to the precautions stemming from COVID. And then it was supposed to be the return trip to play at Reynolds Stadium in 2021. But that trip did not happen. They actually resumed play back in Arlington. So I think that kind of got Arkansas fans a little upset because it happened in 2020. They're expecting a home game on 2021.
Get a home game, yeah. Well, Jerry Jones is alum. I'm sure he rolls out the red carpet.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously. And I think it's just, it serves a couple purposes, I think, for those schools as well. I mean, obviously, it's not as big of a deal for College Station kids to go up to Dallas, but definitely for Arkansas, it is a chance. But it is a chance for both schools to play at a big NFL stadium. Obviously, Cowboy Stadium's beautiful, so they can, it might sound silly, but they can recruit on this as well. Just that kind of, little thing to mention. By the way, on an annual basis, you get to play on a huge in a huge stadium and on a national stage. So But after joining the SEC in 2012, A&M went on a 9-game winning streak against Arkansas, which was the longest in the series and the first winning streak of more than 2 games since
for A&M
for the Aggies since 1938 to 1943. Yeah. And then Arkansas broke that streak in 2021 and improved its record against A&M in Arlington to 4-6. So basically, since the Aggies joined the SEC, it's been one-sided on their side.
Yeah.
So then let's see here. I'd already mentioned that. So there's a couple of crazy games here. So they had 2014, 2015, and then 2017. There were 3 overtime games in a span of 4 years. So it got real interesting.
Yeah.
And it was in 2014, the contest, like I had mentioned, returned back to A&M. And that game was a very, very close game. It went into overtime, and it just kind of also served as a little bit of a linchpin of kind of bringing some heat to this rivalry. So
2014 would have probably been Manziel. He would have been there. Yeah.
Johnny Football. I mean, can we just talk about that? Like as we hear the news of Mike Evans, running onto the field and throwing some punches here.
That's Tom Brady, man.
His receiver.
Dog.
It's just crazy to think of Evans still being in the league and Johnny Football just fizzling out.
I mean, but Evans, everyone knew he was going to be something special. So
it's not even that though. I don't know. His personality just lent me to. I guess I'm very shocked that he has kept a professionalism and stayed in the league, in a league that's very easy to do.
Too much dog in him.
To do knucklehead things like run on the field in a meaningless thing and throw punches with people having helmets on. Because that's always a smart thing. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Yeah, it's just silly on so many reasons. It's not like someone ripped Tom Brady's helmet off and was using it as a weapon against him.
He's a geriatric. He needs protection, dude.
Yeah, although he's the one that probably started it with his mouth. That's what I'm saying. Listen, I know you're trying to be a good teammate, but sometimes if some of these guys run their mouths, they should. They should have to suffer those consequences. He's one of the worst ones. He needs to suffer many consequences for his actions.
Listen, he's beat my team plenty, but at the end of the day, he's still Tom Brady. At this point, it's dude, you can do whatever you want. You're 60 years old, still winging the pig. You want to talk smack? What are you gonna say? What can he say that's not true? What are you going to say back to Tom Brady? Yeah, all right, man. You got 7 Super Bowls. It is what it is. He's a one-man dynasty.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Yes, you're right. But I don't know. I feel like if you're talking some trash though in a game and it gets to a point where you're in someone's face, I don't know. I feel
he's got the dogs back him up. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think Arians even sent Evans in there. There's a clip where he I think tells him hey,
which was super unnecessary, right? Like, I'm sure he had enough dogs on the field with him, right? He has like all of his offensive linemen. I don't think Evans needed to sprint on the field.
Mike Evans is a dog, though. Like, I'd want him backing me up.
Yeah, I guess so. So I'd mentioned that, so 2014, 2015, 2017 were the recent overtime games. And in 2017, it actually broke a record between the two schools. It was a combined 93 points.
I think I remember that game.
Yeah, the Aggies won 50-43 in overtime, and just I believe just single overtime as well. So
I think I remember that game.
That was a very high octane matchup. It's really interesting too. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm a little bit unaware of Arkansas being good. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just because I remember obviously like Darren McFadden, right? But like looking at some of these matchups over the years, I mean, it's easier to find years where neither team was ranked than it is to find games that they were both ranked. Like, there's a ton of matchups between ranked opponents, like them both being ranked or at least one of them being ranked. And just kind of surprising looking at some of this with Arkansas. And I mean, some of these are like back in the day, but still pretty surprising there. But yeah, so obviously this is a more of a renewed rivalry. So that's going to do it for us here.
Let's get to the rankings.
Let's get to the rankings. So we rank on a scale of 1 to 5, and we look at the looks of the trophy and the history of the trophy. And then we separately look at the rivalry and the competitiveness of the rivalry. So the rivalry as in just like how heated it is, and then the overall competitiveness. And then we rank that in a tiering system of bottom, middle, and top. So Mike, what do you got? What do you think?
I'm going to say for looks, I'm going to say it's 3. It's like right in the middle of the road for me. It's not gritty. I need it to be a little grittier, you know, like that's it's big, but it's just, you know, it's a little bit too, what's the word I want to use? It's a little bit too, maybe like cookie cutter, maybe too corporate like generic for me. Yeah. So that's a 3. The history of the rivalry. And there's no stat.
The history of the trophy.
Oh, history of the trophy. I do like that it's like a Southwest Classic and everything. But again, I think this goes back to being like corporate, you know, like it's just got Jerry World on. So that's a 2. The rivalry. 4. I imagine there's some good hate there.
Yeah.
And competitiveness, I think it's a 5, man, especially this year. Like they're, you know, well, A&M's not doing so hot. But yeah, I think although they did just get one against Miami, but no, I think it's a 5. It's a really good rivalry or competitive rivalry. So 2 good teams. So yeah, gonna give it a 5.
Okay, so then what tier?
Let's go mid-tier.
Okay. I'm very, very similar. So I had a 3 for looks. Just exactly what you said. Like it's newer. It's clean, but it's pretty generic, but it's an okay generic. So that's why I'm not like docking it, but I feel like it's just in the middle. The history, I'm with you. It's of the trophy. It's kind of a 2. Like obviously they had, you know, a lot of history, but then, you know, you drop off for like 20 years and it was a fun idea to bring a trophy in. And maybe it's just because it's only been, you know, a little over a decade since they've had this renewed, you know, annual play. Yeah. So, I mean, it's nothing crazy, right? It's makes sense, the Southwest Classic, but there isn't some like fun, exciting way that the trophy came about or anything like that. And the rivalry itself, I have a 3. I think it's so I think, and maybe this is just my ignorance, but from my research, which obviously only tells a certain story, I don't know that they necessarily like circle this. I mean, I guess it's a trophy game, but it just didn't seem like it was like Arkansas, I need to beat Aggies, or Aggies are thinking like I absolutely hate Arkansas. But it's not bad by any means, right? It has
Right.
a lot of history. It had a good stretch, and it's on a second good stretch of playing annually, division rivals. But I never, and again, maybe this is just my ignorance, but sometimes even outside of the Big Ten, which I pay closest attention to, even though I'm obviously expanding my horizons, it never seems like it's something that has like vitriol to it.
Yeah, gotcha.
And it could, again, that could just be my ignorance. You play a team that long, I'm sure there is some, but just from what I was able to find online, it just didn't seem like there was too much like heated, like stealing from one person or stealing from one school to the other. Like it, just kind of felt like it felt in the middle here. It wasn't like the weakest rivalry, but obviously wasn't as hated as some of the ones that we've talked about. And then the competitiveness, I put it at a 4. I didn't quite get to a 5. It's very close, but I would say because of the Aggies' recent dominance, that kind of skewed it down, but it's definitely very competitive, and it definitely will be very competitive this year. And so, I think this is a solid middle tier.
Even when the middle tier, I was just gonna say, even the past couple of years when Arkansas has been down, like you said, 2014, 2015, 2017, all close games still. So
you know what, you might be changing my mind. All right, give me a 4.5. I can't put it 5.
We'll bump it up.
Give me 4.5 because you're right. Now that I have it up to, now that I'm looking at even the last like say 20 matchups, there's only a handful that are over one possession actually. So it is actually pretty damn competitive.
Yeah, even when they're down, they get up for this game. So
okay. All right, that's it. So why don't we preview this game? So we had mentioned that this is going to be happening this weekend. So it's the number 10 Arkansas Razorbacks, who are 3-0, and they are traveling to Cowboy Stadium. So it is a neutral site, and they're going to face the number 23 A&M Aggies, who are 2-1. So what are your predictions? I've actually kind of circled this a couple weeks ago. I had a very clear point of view, even betting wise, not that I'm going to necessarily pick this game, but I had a clear point of view, but I'm not sure about it anymore. But what are you thinking? You're the SEC West, and this is SEC West too, so you're pretty familiar. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay. Ooh,
what's it at? 2.5?
Yeah, Texas A&M 2.5. 7 p.m. kick.
What do you think?
Oh, boy. That's interesting. I think the wrong team might be favored here. I mean,
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I just, with A&M paying so much for that class, I just wonder if they got a bunch of weak-willed individuals that just, aren't going to show up for the but they might show up for the glitz and glamour of the Jerry world. But like, I really like what Pittman's doing with that program. I think it's gonna be a good test. I think I'm gonna take the Hogs to get this one. I think outright win.
Outright
win?
2.5.
That's not crazy to say.
No.
But yeah.
Okay,
I think it's gonna be close.
So this is
real close.
This is one of the things where like Arkansas was one of my teams, and we had talked about this, and I don't have a great view or feel for a team yet. It's pretty early, but like Arkansas last year was one of those teams that I had a pretty good feel for. And obviously they lost Treylon Burks, but they still returned their quarterback, and obviously Pittman, their coach, is back, and he just, I don't know, feels like he fits that university like perfect. And then but the thing is, I haven't watched any Arkansas games last week or this last weekend. It obviously was a bit of a scare. Really had to pull away from Missouri State late. And then it's like on the reverse, I fell asleep, and it's not because it was boring, but I just was so tired. So I didn't even like catch most of the Miami A&M game. Like I had seen like the first quarter, fell asleep, and caught like the last like 4 minutes on accident. So that's also a team that I don't have a great feel for, but I know that they've kind of been, juggling quarterbacks and just haven't looked great. Obviously haven't lived up to their expectations, even playing a Miami team at home, only beating them by 8. And that's, again, a Miami program, which might have a bright future, but they're also still have, you know, a brand new coach and a brand new system and stuff.
So this is the thing too. Like, yeah, it was good they beat Miami, but Oregon, the past several years under Manny Diaz, never traveled well.
Yeah.
They would always, like, other than Ohio State,
Mario Cristobal, sorry.
Or sorry, who did I say? Manny Diaz? Yeah, Mario Cristobal. He's gone. But no, Mario Cristobal did not play well. Yeah. So I think that he's just not and he's still obviously building that program. So they got that win. I think that this could be a game where maybe A&M gets out to a quick start and then Arkansas comes back. I think close, though. Close game.
So my initial gut was Arkansas all the way. Like, I saw 2.5. I love that they're returning KJ Jefferson, and A&M doesn't have honestly, when I look at games, and I probably should look at this more closely when I'm betting, but just when I'm like thinking like who's going to win, if you return a quarterback, you kind of bump up a spot to me, right? Like if you have a guy that has a year of experience or 2 years of experience and he's coming back and you're playing against a team that has a new guy, no matter how heralded they are, I tend to favor the quarterback, and I don't know. I personally think you're gonna learn a lot about A&M, because I think Arkansas is going to do similar to what App State did, and they're just going to pound it, right? They're big offensive linemen. Good on the defensive line. Like, it's just, that's how they win. And I don't know if A&M can handle that smoke.
I don't know either, man. Like I said, they're a bunch of soft boys.
So I'm thinking like Arkansas, and they're under that magic number, right? Under that 3. My initial gut before watching them, or before seeing them play a close game against Missouri State, was just them, regardless of A&M against Miami. And last week might have given me a little bit of a hesitation, but then it's like, were they just looking ahead? Most likely. So I'm thinking Woo Pig Suooooooooie. I'm thinking the Hogs. I think they have a little bit more experience in important positions.
Close though.
Close. Oh yeah. No, this is clearly not going to be a blowout either way. I would be shocked. But because I don't think
that being said, probably we're on the same page. It's going to be like A&M by a billion. So.
Right. Yeah. So okay. So we're both thinking the Hogs here, and this might be a game. If I wasn't over, this would probably be a game I would just pick. But because I'm over, I really need a dub here. So we'll see. Maybe I'll come back to it. Maybe I'll just I'll just stick to what I'm doing. I'll just stick to me, and hopefully eventually that'll just even balance itself out, because I feel like I'm not
be true to
crazy,
yourself,
right?
Be true to yourself.
So this game is going to be on ESPN at 7 p.m. It's going to be prime time. Great. Watch it. I'm sure everyone's going to just watch it because it's at ESPN at 7 anyway. But now you guys can think about that trophy.
Kirk and Chris are calling this one.
Potentially. So when was the Tennessee game? I mean, obviously Kirk typically does game day, obviously with some exceptions, but that one's earlier, isn't it? Isn't that a 3:30?
Yeah, that's normally in the afternoon, but like that could also be a
that's a 3:30 Florida Tennessee.
3:30, yeah. It's probably on CBS.
Yes, it is.
So I can't tell right now.
Honestly, now looking at like the schedule here, there really isn't another big game at night. I mean, Wisconsin, Ohio State on ABC, but like obviously Wisconsin's looking pretty weak, so I don't know that that's necessarily worth people's time potentially, but I think that might be really the premier game to watch.
Yeah,
at night.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're on the call. I will obviously check it out. I follow them pretty religiously if I can. So
yeah.
All right. I guess I'll have to watch it. Alabama beat up Vanderbilt too at 7:30. So
I mean, you can watch that for the first like 6 minutes and then turn on the Southwest Classic. All right, so that's going to do it for us this week. Follow us on Instagram at whiskers.whiskies, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to check out our Saturday morning betting posts. And please send us your favorite bets. I'm a broken record here, but even though you've missed these first couple weeks, you're going to start at the same spot I've been at, and you're only going to be 6 wins from Mike at the top. If you do beat us, and I would say collectively all of us, right? You have to beat both of us, or really all 3 of us. If you beat us, we will get you some customized swag at the end of the year. So there's some incentive. Even though you're behind the 8 ball, there's plenty of weeks left. So what? 9 weeks left.
10.
There you go. You still got plenty of time.
Plenty of time, baby.
And also in my case, guys, sharing is caring. Even if you just feel really strongly about a game, let me know. I'll take any advice you got.
Charity.
So join us next week when we talk about another Governor's Cup, probably about the 9th Governor's Cup that we've talked about. But this Governor's Cup is an in-state rivalry, which should be good. So for Mike, I'm EJ. Always remember, too much of anything is bad, but too much good whiskey is barely enough.
Cheers, boys.